Hi, and welcome to another edition of For the Love of Dogs. I am Arthur E. Benjamin, founder of American Dog Rescue, and here with my co-host, Farrah White.
We'd like to spend our Saturdays recognizing the amazing work by the animal rescue community here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Without the tireless work of so many, dogs in North Texas would have no future.
Today, we're going to introduce you to two incredible organizations, DFW Rescue Me and the Collin County Humane Society. Then we'll highlight another amazing story of animal rescue.
Our first guests have been at the forefront of preventing animal cruelty here in North Texas for quite some time.
It was back in April of 2012 when Jim Wenger of DFW Rescue Me got a call about a poor puppy that had been doused with lighter fluid and was set on fire. Justice was burned, unfortunately, over 70% of his body, and passed on. But the story of Justice has brought nationwide attention to the acts of animal cruelty and to ending these cruel, nefarious acts. Jim and Claire Fowler of DFW Rescue Me are here with more details about Voices for Justice and how DFW Rescue Me is helping.
The recent trial of those involved in the abuse of justice has brought this story back into the news and into our hearts. Do you think Justice got justice? What do you guys think?
I would like to have seen him sentenced for the maximum to send a stronger message out there to people that would abuse animals. But I'm glad that it wasn't just forgotten and swept under the rug.
Yeah.
It was taken seriously.
Well, 5 years is a long time.
5 years is a long time. And he admitted that he had done it and he had done wrong. So we got that.
Do you think that people have been made more aware of the consequences for animal abuse?
I believe so. I do believe that it sent a message out there, not just through the court system, but through all of the volunteers, all the people on Facebook, all the people in the media, that we care and we're tired of seeing animals abused.
And when we say 5 years, this person was the one that's poured lighter fluid over the whole dog. And it was a purposeful act. And we just have to recognize that our society can't tolerate that kind of abuse to animals or children or any member of society.
Absolutely.
And now, what is Voices for Justice?
Voices for Justice is where a few of our volunteers go into an elementary school and we do a presentation teaching the kids about justice, and we actually teach them how to properly care for their pet, and we do talk about the consequences if you abuse or neglect an animal. And we come in with our dogs and a few of our volunteers.
And how to recognize the difference between abuse and neglect. You know, a lot of it has to do with intent.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this Dinner for Justice. Tell us about that. It's tomorrow night, right?
Yes, Dinner for Justice at Sambuco in Dallas. This is our second Dinner for Justice. They have a 3-course meal and everyone gets the money goes to our Justice Fund.
That's correct. And that's for abused and injured animals through the Dallas Animal Services. And much like Penny here.
Yeah.
Well, can people, do people sponsor tables at it, or is it an individual event, or how does it work?
It's individual tickets.
There you go.
Yes.
The one who really knows.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, we will make every effort to be there tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Well, I can remember actually one of the times previous when you were on the show, it was pretty close to when you had just first met Justice. So I don't know that people actually realized that it was you, and Rescue Me that actually went to pick him up.
Yes.
And I think also it helps if people understand justice didn't pass right away.
That's correct.
He lived for a
10
while.
days.
And it was you that cared for him.
Well, some really great vets. And yes, I picked him up from the Dallas shelter and took him up to the ER and transported him back and forth between the ER and the day practice, so he had round-the-clock care. And then my wife and I took him down to A&M when it was time for him to go down there. And we did spend a lot of time getting to know him. He was a really sweet little dog.
Do you still think about him all the time?
Every day,
That answers the question.
every day.
Yeah, it's a wonderful organization that you guys have developed in his name. So it's nice, and I know it's tremendously successful. In fact, I think it's already sold out.
Education is a major component to ending animal abuse. Can you tell us a little bit about your view on that?
Oh, I agree, absolutely. If we can change the way that the kids are viewing it, they're being taught by their parents, and it's amazing how things change. When I was a kid, we didn't have emergency rooms for animals,
Yeah.
and things have changed. We're getting more progressive. So if we can teach the kids the way your parents are doing it or your grandparents are doing it may not be the best way,
Right.
and keeping the dog in the backyard may not be the best way, and they're a part of the family, and they have feelings and thoughts like we do.
Well, I don't think that Bandit thinks that he's part of the family. He thinks he owns the set.
Absolutely.
Well, I think initially you got involved with rescue because you were trying to prevent animals from being euthanized. Do you feel that your mission has changed?
We've definitely added to the mission. The mission, yes, because we originally wanted to stop the euthanizing of the unwanted pets at Dallas Animal Services, and now we're into sponsoring spay days, and then the Voices for Justice, and we're just trying to change the way dogs and cats and pets are treated.
We're excited to be the title sponsor again at Wags and Waves.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great time.
And you want to tell our audience a little bit about the event and
It's a huge event at the water park, NRH2O. Great time. You come out with your dogs and your kids and just turn them loose and have a good time. We also have a raffle that the proceeds are going to benefit the North Richland Hills Animal Shelter. $10 or 10 pounds of dog food, get your raffle ticket. And the winner gets a day for 6 at the water park.
Neat.
And it's a good time. It's our 5th year doing it, and it's getting bigger and better every year.
Another costume show contest this
Yes.
year? Loved that.
who did you bring with you today?
So this is Penny. She's 6 months old and taking a nap on us. But she's a St. Bernard Pyrenees mix of some kind, and she was backed over by a car. Broke both her legs, her hips, her pelvis. Her bladder had to be reconstructed. And she doesn't know any better. She's doing great. Getting along just fine.
This is Lennon, and we actually caught, one of our volunteers caught her mama in February, and the next night she had 9 puppies.
Oh, wow.
They were a special litter for us because they came straight from the streets, but she got very sick and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. Our vets they tried for a very long time. She had 6 blood transfusions, and a month later we found out that she had Babesia gibsoni. So it's a rare blood parasite. Her body was destroying her red blood cells, and now she's had once we figured out what it was, she had a treatment. She's had none of the symptoms since, and we ended up adopting her after going through all that with her. But it was we treated all 9 in the litter for it and her mama. So, but now she's huge, and
Sweet.
you wouldn't know that she
Yeah.
went through all of that.
So, for people who want to get involved in your organization, what can they do?
First, visit the website. There's a volunteer sign-up sheet. You can foster. There's things you can do besides fostering to volunteer. And come out to adoption events. We have dogs in boarding that need exercising, and volunteer at Wags and Waves. We have lots of opportunities.
Well, I volunteer ferret to be dropped into the water.
Okay.
Yes, Farron would love to be dropped into the water. You can learn more about DFW Rescue Me by logging on to the website dfwrescueme.org. Wags and Waves is September 21st at NRH2O in North Richland Hills.
And still to come today, meet the woman in charge of Collin County Humane Society, one of our great friends. And then we'll meet our animal rescue of the week. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I'm a pet lover first.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Welcome back. Molly Peterson certainly has her hands full in the animal rescue community. She's not only the president and director of the Collin County Humane Society, but she also runs the Rockwall Animal Adoption Center.
Molly and Tressa Broadhead are here today with more on how she's helping dogs in Collin County. Thanks you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Arf.
Yeah.
Who did you bring with you today?
This is Clyde. He came to our shelter, or our program. He's currently staying at the Rockwall Adoption Center after being in an overcrowded facility. And he's gained 4 pounds in 2 weeks. So he's looking for a forever home.
Well, that's great. And he seems like he's doing so much better. Look how
And
relaxed he
hasn't
looks.
bayed once, which is amazing for a beagle. He's been so quiet.
He did to the puppy once. Tried to jump on him, but he's great with other dogs.
You are just one busy lady.
I am extremely busy. Yes.
Tell us the story that led you to starting the Collin County Humane Society. It's a really motivational one.
I was in college in California, and I went to get a cat for our apartment, and I went to the LA shelter, and it was overwhelming. I mean, the noise, all the helpless pets, and there were 6 dogs stuck in every run. There was a nursing Dalmatian with no food, and she was emaciated, and she had 10 puppies. And I started talking with people there who were taking pictures, and they told me about rescue and what they do, and they put pictures on Pet Finder. And I signed up for a rescue group, and as they were pulling a dog down the hallway to put it to sleep, I stopped animal control and I adopted her. And took her back to my apartment that did not allow dogs. And so she wound up being a Great Dane mix, so she got big pretty quickly. And so once we got her better, she had pneumonia. She was sick for about a month. And when she got better, the apartment gave us 3 days to get out or get rid of the dog. So my lovely parents wound up adopting her, and they still have her, and she's 12 years old. And
what's her name?
Strong, Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
So Charlie now lives in
Arizona, Phoenix.
Nice.
And Charlie's doing well today.
She's doing great. Yeah. She's a little brother, Buddy, a yellow lab, and they go for walks 3 times a day. So she's thriving, but couldn't have done it without her. So after she moved on, I followed with my original agreement to do rescue, and picked up where I left off, but I only did little puppies at the time until I moved to a place that I could house dogs and properly rescue when I moved to Texas.
When did you take over the Rockwall Animal Rescue?
Last January, we were approached by the city of Rockwall about privatization, which basically means a private entity turns over managing the facility. And we went through about 6 months of interviews and applications and budget reviews and background checks and meetings galore. And we were offered the opportunity in July, and we were given 2 weeks to hire staff, figure out where our feet were, and the doors closed on Wednesday and we opened on Thursday.
Wow.
And we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary at Rockwall.
Nice.
So basically we manage the city facility. It's still public intake, so we take in from Rockwall and Heath, and we've done a lot of shelter improvements over the year. And when we got there, 60% of the facility was sick, including cats and dogs.
Oh, wow.
And to date right now, knock on wood, we don't have any sick animals. We've done a lot of provisions for, quarantine and really cleaning and sanitizing, and we've also tinted the windows, police tinting, so that people can see in, but the animals can't see out. And that's helped reduce their stress level, which helps keep them healthy.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
What is it like running both of those facilities?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I have 2 toddlers. So,
oh my goodness.
So how do you do it all? Because I know there are people in our audience who say, I'd like to do this, I've rescued a dog. How does a human being do what you do?
With people like Tressa to help. Yes, I started it and I lead it, but I don't lead it alone. I lead it with an amazing team of directors and an amazing group of volunteers and foster homes. And I mean, we couldn't be where we're at without all those people doing what we do every day. So I'm a small part of the equation, really. I mean, I do work all the time, and there's always an issue, but I'm leaving Saturday for vacation, and Tress and Ashley are going to be the one with the phone. So with them, that's how we do it.
How many dogs do you have between the 2 facilities? How many dogs and cats?
Oh gosh, Rockwall has about 200 animals. In CCHS, we're kind of low right now. We're around 100 right now, or actually 80 to 100.
80 to 100 averaging right now, which is low for us, actually.
But they're all in fosters.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then do you take from shelters, or do you take animals that are primarily found on the streets?
We take from both animal shelters, and we do pull from some of the city shelters in the area, all the DFW area actually in North Texas, as well as take animals that come in off the streets. Of course, we hold them through the stray hold period for the animal control locally, and then we also take in some owner surrenders. If people cannot keep their animal for some reason or another, we might take in some owner surrenders as well.
And up until recently, we didn't have an owner surrender fee at the Rockwall shelter, a city-run shelter. As most people know, most shelters have a surrender fee, and it's because we're a no-kill facility, so we have to maintain the care for the animals ongoing. So we just this Monday, City Council passed an owner surrender fee, which will hold more people accountable for their pets instead of being able to hand them over without any thought process whatsoever. So we're pretty excited about that.
How many pets do you think that you have available, like for example now?
About 200 at Rockwall and about 80 with CCHS and foster homes. And that's how we work together. CCHS maintains the rescue, the foster program, and Rockwall maintains the city shelter.
And then we might have various puppy litters, because oftentimes we end up taking in animals that are pregnant.
Yes.
And so we typically have a few litters of puppies that are on their way into the adoption program, but not quite on our website yet.
And Rockwall currently has a litter of 13 pit bull puppies that came in.
13.
Yeah, 13. They were surrendered at 3 weeks of age, and they're 9 weeks old now. So waiting for homes, ready or not.
Well, you've got one of your biggest fundraisers coming up in October. Tell us about that.
October 26th.
October 26th, Eddie Dean's in downtown Dallas.
We've changed the theme up this year.
Yes.
Years past, we've done sit-down dinner, seated speeches. Semi-formal gala. And this year we're changing it to Boots and Bling. Boots and Bling thing with a live band and casino. A lot more fun. We feel it will cater to a larger audience. Lower the ticket price a little bit. And then, per the guys' request, we moved to buffet because that was always a complaint. The men didn't want to go because they couldn't eat. So they have gambling, and now they're going to have gourmet barbecue buffet. So something for everybody.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
In the name of some animals that need some help. If you want to learn more about either the Collin County Humane Society or the Rockwall Animal Adoption Center, go online. First, go to collincountyhumanesociety.org or rockwalladoptions.com. And both of them are on Facebook.
Still to come on today's show, we're going to meet a very special dog that's currently being taken care of by the Collin County Humane Society. We're going to meet Rogue next.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family. But for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Time now for our For the Love of Dogs animal rescue story. And today's dog is actually in need of a home. And boy, it's a beauty.
Ashley and Kylie Pickering with the Collin County Humane Society. They are both here today to tell us about Rogue and her brother and sister. How long ago did you find Rogue?
We rescued Rogue from the animal shelter about 32 days ago now.
Okay. And under what conditions?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. The shelter knows me and knows if I go in there, they're going to be able to get more than one animal out because I went up there to get a Mastiff, and they had just brought in Rogue and Phoenix and Flash, her siblings. They were still in the carrier that Animal Control had picked them up in. And the volunteer there said, Ashley, you need to take these guys. And so when I looked at them and saw them, they were all covered in demodecked mange, and they had the green coming out of their eyes, and just horrible condition, emaciated, full of worms, really no hair whatsoever. And they had carpal subluxation, which is where their paws basically look like duck feet. And when they walk, you can see in that picture, when they walk, they literally sound like duck's feet. So when she showed them to me, I said, all right, pack all three of them up. Let's go. I'm taking them home. So she's been with us ever since.
And so within that time frame, you've had to care for them and medicate them. And
yeah, it's been a lot of work. Usually with the Demodex mange, we do oral ivermectin, and we do it once a day for 30 days. We also bathe them with a shampoo, usually once a day to every other day. We have a cream we use on them. We also use a spray. We also had to upgrade. We feed Nutro, chicken and rice puppy. For these, we did some research and figured out lamb and rice. So they went on a different special food, and they got multivitamins every day to help increase their strength in their feet and fix, because everything was an issue of nutrition, really.
Yeah. How are her siblings doing?
They're doing great. We had to split them up because I took more fosters in. And so it was getting a little crazy in my house. Yeah. So her brother and sister went to another foster home.
Okay. Now, are you looking for homes?
Yes, for all three of them. They all are on our website. They're all almost completely potty trained, always a bonus. Nice. And as you can see, nothing really phases her. Yeah. She's very calm for a puppy. And she's in the house with my 4 personal dogs that are big. She's used to them. She's used to kids coming in and out of the house. So there's not a lot that phases this puppy.
Are there still a lot of treatments required?
There's nothing really required anymore. With Demodex mange, you always kind of want to keep an eye on your dog because it's very similar to lupus in people. It can come on again in stressful situations. But other than that, she's good to go.
Are you wanting to try to keep them together, or do they seem that they mind being apart?
Yeah, they're totally fine because she's the only one with me now. And then her brother and sister went to another foster home when I took in another litter. So she's totally fine, but she would do great with another dog.
And how are her siblings compared to her?
They're doing great too.
Are they active?
Or
are they calm like this?
She's the calmest of all three of them for sure. Her brother is much more, he's a mischief maker. And then her other sister is a nice mix between the calmness here and the mischief of Flash.
So tell me how you do this. You've got how many dogs in your house? Two kids, a husband.
Yes, I have 2 kids, 14 and 16. I've got my husband, I've got my 4 personal dogs, I've got her, and then within the Humane Society, I specialize in the large breed litters. So I take in like the Great Pyrenees, the Great Danes that are having puppies. So in my maternity ward, my puppy room, I have a Rottie that was part of a seizure case, and her 11 3-week-old puppies. Yeah.
Wow.
I stay busy.
That's incredible. You're incredible.
But it's fun. We have the best time.
And you still have a bed there too, right?
She does. They stay, and 2 cats that stay upstairs.
Nice.
Well, thanks so much for introducing us to Rogue and
Thank
letting us know about our brothers. And if you're interested in Rogue or one of our brothers, Collin County Humane Society. That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks to DFW Rescue Me and the Collin County Humane Society for being here. And also, thanks to all of you for watching the show and for all you do for dogs.
Remember to keep up with For the Love of Dogs online at AmericanDogRescue.org, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
From all of us here at For the Love of Dogs, Bandit, get up and say, see you next time.